Hello, friends. Yes, continuing with Paradise Lost, Book 1. We completed 49 lines and now we're starting with the 50th line. 9 times the space that measures day and night to mortal men. For 9 continuous days, days as measured by human beings, that means 12 hours days and 12 hour nights, he with his horrid crew lay vanquished. He here is Saturn. Saturn with his horrid crew, the horrible crew, that means his legions, lay vanquished. They were utterly defeated. Vanquished means they were utterly, thoroughly defeated, rolling in the fiery gulf. They were thrown from the heaven down to the hell, and here they were floating in a fiery lake. A lake which was not made of water, a lake which was of fire. They were rolling, they were floating in this fire. That means they were being tormented in this fire. Confounded, though immortal, and even though they were immortal, because they once were obviously angels, therefore they are immortals. However, since they were being defeated, they were badly tortured in hell, they were thrown in the hell, they were badly tortured in the hell, and therefore they were confused. He was confused, Saturn was confused. But his doom reserved him to more wrath. But his doom, his fate, reserved for him more wrath, more punishment from God. For now the thought both of lost happiness and lasting pain torments him. And what is torments him, what is torturing him is not only the lasting pain here, there is everlasting pain. There was never ending pain here in hell, but the lost happiness also. Because once upon a time he was an angel, he was in hell. Not only was he an angel, but he was an archangel. That means he occupied a very high position in the hierarchy of gods. That position has been lost. Heaven has been lost forever. So there is not only mental pain, there is physical pain, but there is mental pain as well. Round his throws his baleful eyes. Now he sees from he's floating on the fairy lake, and from there he sees everywhere. Baleful means his menacing eyes. He is still in very anger, in his threatening eyes that witnessed huge affliction and dismay. Affliction means the cause of pain, something that causes pain. So what his eyes sees are things that causes pain, and what all causes pains we'll see right now, and dismay and distress. So everywhere he's seeing harmful things, everywhere he's seeing things of distress. His eyes, which are menacing eyes, baleful eyes, are mixed with obdurate pride and steadfast hate. There is pride in his eyes, but that pride is obdurate, stubborn pride. That means he's never going to yield. And pride, we know, is the greatest enemy or greatest vice that anyone can have. In Hindu mythologies, Ravan had pride, Kans had pride, Satan also had the same pride, and steadfast hate. Steadfast means permanent hatred. So there is obdurate pride and steadfast hatred. This was the reason. These were the reasons uh, for him to rebel against God, and this is the reason. Even though he has been defeated, but he will be continuing to pursue his plan against God because of his obdurate pride and steadfast hatred. At once, as far as angels can. K-E-N can means see. As far as angels can see, and obviously we can assume that angels will see very far. He views the dismal situation waste and wild. So he's viewing uh, with his dismal eyes, dismal situation, with his baleful eyes, he's seeing everywhere there is waste and everywhere where there is wild, there is wilderness. A dungeon horrible. He can see a dungeon which is very horrible on all sides round, as one great furnace flamed. Yet from those flames no light, but rather darkness visible. There is a dungeon, it is a round dungeon, and from that round dungeon, flames are coming. So obviously, those flames are meant to torture, to torment, but light is not visible. It doesn't bring brightness with it. Obviously, it brings very sharp and harmful effect on the body, but not light. So much dim light is there, as yet from the ways no light, but rather darkness visible, served only to discover sights of woe. So much light is there, dim light is there, that one can see only the sights of woe, sights of punishment, regions of sorrow. There in heaven, in hell, there are obviously reasons of sorrow, and that light serves the purpose of that anyone can see those regions. Doleful shades, sorrowful shades. Doleful means sorrowful shades are there. Obviously, if we are tired, then we are going on a journey, we are tired, we'll be looking for some shady tree, and we'll take some rest under that tree. But here there are shades, but that shades are sorrowful shades, where peace and rest never dwells. So peace also and rest also, with which otherwise is the nature of shade to provide, but that shade here does not provide peace and rest, never dwells. Hope never comes, that comes to all. Now there are times when there are tough times for us, and that tough period may be for a longer period of time or for a shorter period of time. But what sustains us through this tough period, what tides over this troubled time, is the hope that this troubled period will come to an end at some point of time. Okay, but here in hell there is no such hope, because the torture is a never ending torture. So hope never comes, that comes to all. And therefore, because there is no hope, so it is an extreme mental torture as well. Not only is it physical torture, because the fire is burning this angels, the fallen angels, but it is a mental torture as well, because this is never going to end. But torture without end, and there is both physical torture also and mental torture, still urges, and this torture still continues and continues further. And a fairy deluge fed with ever burning sulfur unconsumed. And there is a deluge, there is a lake of fire, in which this fallen angels and Satan, they were floating and fed with ever burning sulfur unconsumed. So, as in a lake, the source of the lake is underground water. Similarly, here there is, in this fiery lake, it is the sulfur. But this sulfur never gets consumed. It is inexhaustible, and it keeps on burning. The fire keeps on burning, and never ending fire. Such place eternal justice had prepared for those rebellious. So those rebellious, why they are called rebellious? Because the Satan and the angels who had rebelled against the God, they once were angels only, and they were defeated and they were thrown into the hell. So they are called rebellious. So eternal justice, God had prepared this place for them. Here their prison ordained in utter darkness. So it was complete dark here in hell, and this was their prison ordained, means they were, as a punishment they were given this prison, and their portion set as far removed from God and light of heaven. And their portion means hell. Hell was removed from God, from heaven. What was the distance between heaven and hell? As from center thrice to the utmost pole. Now in Ptolemy's universe, it is Earth which is at the center. So from center of the universe, that means from the Earth to the extreme end of the universe. The thrice that distance is the distance between heaven and hell. Oh, how unlike the place from whence they fell. So obviously, Satan and his legions, they fell from heaven. Heaven was a place of peace, tranquility, and happiness. Unlike hell, hell is a place of torture, both physical and mental torture. So there is a complete contrast between those two, heaven and hell, and this is a very heavy price which Satan and his legions had to pay. There, the companions of his fall, and not only is he uh, drowned in a fiery deluge, a flood of fire, but his companions are also floating in that fire, overwhelmed with floods and whirlwinds of tempestuous fire. There is a flood, and there is tempestuous fire, means there is storm, but that storm is of fire and not of water, and they are completely overwhelmed, he and his legions. He soon discerns, and he quickly, after for 9 days they are completely confounded, they are completely confused, but slowly Satan starts getting into his senses, and he discerns, means he recognizes, and weltering by his side, completely confused and tossing by his side, one next himself in power and next in crime. And in heaven, we know that Satan was the archangel. He was a very high angel. And next only to him in power was this fallen fallen angel who was tossing beside him. But not only in power, next in crime also. So Satan clearly is a criminal according to Milton also. Milton was never in doubt whether Satan is good or bad. He's a hero or he's a criminal. He is a criminal, and this will come repeatedly. And next in crime. So Satan is the number one criminal, and number two is this fallen angel who is tossing beside him. Long after known in Palestine and named Beelzebub. So this floating uh, angel is his name is Beelzebub. Long after means much later in Palestine he was called Beelzebub. To whom the arch enemy and thence in heaven called Satan. So arch enemy means greatest enemy of God is Satan, and from thence means from henceforth in heaven he is called Satan. So his name is from now on Satan. With bold words, breaking the horrid silence, thus begin. And he spoke in bold words, very strong words. He spoke, breaking. There was a complete silence in this hell as they were floating. Now he breaks the silence. Satan breaks the silence. Now in the next video, we are going to do the speech of Satan, probably the most important speech in book 1. If Satan is the hero of Paradise Lost, because there is going to be an argument and there is going to be a very important question, then this speech is very close, will make him very close to a hero, which we are going to do in the next video. Thank you.